Have you or your friends have walked across the street or walked on the sidewalk while looking at your cell phone? Don't do it. It's dangerous. And that's what today's story is about. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a story time about the time my friend was playing a game of Pokemon Go while looking at her phone, and then she walked across the street and forgot to look for cars while she was looking at her phone and playing Pokemon Go. So this is a story just to let you guys know, never walk with your cell phone or look at your cell phone while walking. It is dangerous because you need to pay attention to your surroundings. I understand we all have our moments where we get tuned into our cell phones and we don't pay any attention to anything. So we have to keep in mind that when we're walking across the street, we probably should keep our phones put away so then we don't trip or fall or get hit by cars or something bad happens to us. So just keep in mind that when you're going to be walking or doing a lot of walking around the neighborhood, and I wouldn't look at your phone while walking, especially if you're planning on playing Pokemon Go. And by the way, do people still play Pokemon Go? Let me know down in the comments below because I haven't seen anybody play it since 2016. So this all started about almost 7 years ago. I had a busy day that day. I volunteered at a local senior center with a group of people because I was with the local program, and we had a pretty good day. Everything went pretty smoothly. Like, we went to the senior center, volunteered, we stopped and got some people lunch because some of us needed to buy their lunch. I think I bought lunch that day, I can't remember. And some other people had their lunches, so we just hung out in the park, ate, did some education. And then once we were done with like our education, it was just job skills practice for when we would get jobs in the future and blah, 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 blah. So what happened next, we go to the bookstore and we have a good time looking around in the bookstore. We start looking through it. And I think, like I said, maybe there was probably like 3 of us that day. We had one of my friends and another friend who I'm going to call cell phone 2 just because she was on her cell phone while walking. And she was playing Pokemon Go on her cell phone. So we had a supervisor, and we only had one supervisor because we didn't have a big group of people. So we were in the bookstore for a little bit to kill some time before we had to go and catch our bus. Then I think maybe 1 o'clock or 1:15 comes around. We were in the bookstore for maybe about a half an hour or so because we got done early with our volunteering and our lunches. So we were in the bookstore for about a half an hour, so we had plenty of time to kill. So once it's time for us to go, we're walking to our nearby bus stop so we can catch our bus going back to where we need to be. So we are walking, and then we look and notice my friend's cell phone 2 is looking at her cell phone while walking. And she's so busy playing Pokemon Go on her phone that she's not even paying attention to her surroundings. So we go to the street and we make it to the corner where we get to our local but nearby bus stop. So cell phone 2 is falling behind because she's so busy looking at her cell phone that she's not even paying attention. So cell phone 2 suddenly doesn't think, she doesn't look, she walks right across the crosswalk of where we were crossing the street, and she doesn't look for cars before she cars, because she's so busy on her phone playing Pokemon Go that she's not paying attention to her surroundings. So finally, the supervisor starts talking to cell phone 2 and goes, "Cell phone 2," and my friend's cell phone 2 was like, "What?" And he was going, "You just walked across the street and you didn't look for cars. You were looking at your phone while crossing the street. That's not safe," and blah, 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 blah. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was playing my game while watching." And the supervisor explains to cell phone 2 that she needs to be careful when she's walking across the street. She should be looking for cars. She shouldn't be walking across the street while looking at her cell phone. So cell phone 2 apologizes for not being safe, and then the supervisor makes cell phone 2 put her cell phone away for kind of like the rest of the time we're waiting for the bus, because she was on it almost the entire time playing Pokemon Go and not paying attention to her surroundings. I mean, it happens, definitely. I mean, I've been on my phone a lot too before and not like socializing with people, so I completely understand. So when cell phone 2 puts her phone away, our bus comes, we get on the bus, and then cell phone 2 apologizes for walking across the street and looking at her phone and how she felt bad about scaring us. And I told her, "It's okay, we were just glad you were safe," and blah, 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 blah. And I did come up with a suggestion for her. Maybe it's probably a good idea not to play Pokemon Go while you're walking across the street. I mean, it's okay to play Pokemon Go while you're walking, but maybe next time don't play it when you're getting ready to cross the street, because you can get hit by a car if you don't look around or pay attention to your surroundings before you cross the street. So keep in mind to put your phone away while you're walking across the street. Great. So I just gave her that suggestion, is just maybe don't look at your cell phone while walking, because it's just not a safe thing, and blah, 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 blah. So I was going through that whole spiel with her about how maybe it's just not a good idea. And then the supervisor was explaining to cell phone 2 that she probably shouldn't be playing Pokemon Go while we're at program or while she's walking, because she had just walked across the street and forgot to look for cars. And I thought that, and she also thought that was a good idea not to look at her phone while crossing the street. So later, the very next day, the lady in charge tells everybody that they can't be having their cell phones out while walking. It's dangerous and blah, 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 blah. And people are not paying attention to looking before crossing the street, and yada, yada, yada. So they kind of like had to make everybody stop playing Pokemon Go during the day, because so many people were so busy looking at their phones with Pokemon Go that they weren't paying attention to their surroundings. And I thought that was kind of a good idea, because I felt like Pokemon Go just wasn't a safe thing to play. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know a lot of people loved Pokemon Go and it was a huge hit and a lot of people were playing it, but it's just not safe sometimes. So everybody kind of stopped playing Pokemon Go at the program, because it was just causing too much of a distraction, and then a lot of people just were not paying attention to their surroundings, or a lot of people were so busy walking across the street while looking at their cell phones. And I thought that was a very good idea, that everyone pretty much stopped doing that, because it just made it easier for everybody to pay attention to their surroundings. So the moral of the story is, do not look at your phone while walking or crossing a crosswalk. It's not a safe idea. You'll be so tuned into your cell phone that you won't be paying any attention to your surroundings, especially if you're going across a crosswalk when you're crossing the street. You can probably get hit by a car and don't realize it if you just keep looking at your phone the entire time. So just keep that in mind, as maybe it's a bad idea to look at your cell phone or play a game on your phone while walking. walking, because you really need to be safe while walking. You never look at your phone at all or any kind of device while walking, just because you can trip and fall, or you can cross the street and not look for cars and you might get yourself hit by a car. So just please be safe while walking and don't look at your phone. So that was a story about how my friend accidentally walked across the street while looking at her phone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope this video taught you never to look at your phone while walking. Thank you. Walking anywhere, like walking on the sidewalk or walking across this crosswalk, especially when there's no cars coming. So just keep that in mind. So that was a story about how my friend walked across the street while looking at her phone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.